What's up with you, man? What you got going on?
Man, what don't I have going on? I mean, let's see. Where do I even want to start? I think right now the biggest thing I have going on is just trying to acquire this studio space.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. Just trying to, one, grow the business, and then two, kind of grow. We talk about it, I feel like, often, just kind of grow the creative community that I'm a part of, and that's just like in this area, in this state. So that's kind of where my head is right now. Just kind of focused on that. I feel like I'm talking like so gloomy, but like really, I'm really excited about it. Like, look, I mean, when you're doing all this, you just be tired, as you know, because I mean, you be around too, kind of doing the same thing.
Not on the same level, but yeah, in my own little way.
Yeah, in your own way, just like, I don't know, the creative journey is really fun, but it's also really tiring. And so, you know, I tell y'all how I have to take moments of just stepping back sometimes so I can keep myself focused.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you know, nothing gets done. You know, it's not good if you burn out and you're just trying to push yourself. But I guess long-winded answer of saying, like, I'm just out here trying to reach a dream, really.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, Martin.
My bad. You know me, I just get to yapping, bro. You ask one question, I done said 10,000 other things.
Hey, no, if that's how you doing, that's how you doing, though. Yeah. So before the goals, before the vision boards, when did you start believing that your life could look a lot different than what you were handed?
When did I think my life could look a lot different? I think it was when I was in high school and I had an art teacher. Well, first, let me credit my mom. My mom always had a whole lot of belief in me, right? And so she pushed me to kind of always strive for more. And then it was when I met my art teacher, Joy Schultz, when I was really kind of trying to refine my skills as an artist. At the time, I was drawing and painting and just trying to kind of figure out like where I exist as an artist. And she was the one that was just pushing me to do a whole lot of different things. And then she encouraged me to pick up a camera. And that just kind of, you know, led to what I do now. So that was kind of when I first realized that my life could start to look different. Because at first I was just playing sports. But I mean, I'm 5'8". I'm not gonna go to the league.
Oh no, Isaiah Thomas did.
I could have maybe, but like, I mean, for myself, it was like I didn't even want to.
Yeah.
So when I got into the arts back in high school, I was like, okay, my life could look like something. So that was probably the first time. I think I was like 14, 15. And then ever since then, my whole life has just kind of been about art in some ways. Kind of cliche, but really just been about creativity and being a better artist and how I can use my skills to like influence others.
Shout out Ma and you said Miss Schultz?
Miss Schultz. Yeah.
Miss Schultz, if you listening.
I'm gonna make sure you listen to it. I'm gonna make sure I send it to you because I'll talk to her. I still talk to her regularly, honestly. I need to go check on her actually, see how she's doing.
Yeah. Hopefully she's doing all right.
She doing good. She doing good. I just want to talk to her. I miss her. It's been a while.
That's real. You know, speaking of talking, people talk about manifesting like it's, you know, this magic you pull out of a hat, right? And it just happens. But in my mind, it's closer to patience, you know, to discipline, to choosing the same thing over and over again, even when nothing changes, right? So you and I, we've talked about that before. So what did manifestation and whatever that looked like for you in your terms of manifestation, what did they ask you to do?
So for me, I'm a God-fearing man, so I pray all the time. For me, it was like, just do the work. That's all I heard. You know, no excuses. Don't let obstacles get in your way. This is the vision that I've given to you, and I know your desires. And in order to achieve those things you want, you just got to do it. You know, for myself, I used to question myself all the time. And sometimes I still do. You know, we're human. I'm human. And sometimes it just happens where you get anxious or you worry or you question yourself. But I have to realize, okay, if I want anything out of this life, especially the things that I envision, the things that I dream, the things I feel like feeds my soul, then I just have to do it. And so what I heard in my prayers or anytime that I was like meditating or just trying to manifest the things that I want in my life, it always came down to just put the work in, just do it. Who's going to stop you? I think it was Tyler, the creator, in an interview once said, just try. Try, fail. But
that's real because I feel like sometimes the hardest thing to do is start. Mm-hmm. To start, whatever the case, like whatever you're doing, sometimes the hardest thing to do is start. And once you start, that's when everything starts clicking. Like you don't know whether you can do something unless you try to do it.
Exactly. Like when you started these, right? It may not have been exactly what you wanted it to be, but look at how it grows.
I know
because you started.
We were just talking about this because the first one we did, we in your living room,
bro, on the ground,
on the floor, like in the living room on the floor. I had like this terrible mic. But it was organic, right? It was this vision, and now about a year later, here we are in this space and having this conversation. But like you said, like I just had to do it, right? I didn't know what it was going to look like. I didn't know what was going to happen, but you just started, you go and you build upon that. So
exactly,
that's real.
Because like when we did this for the first time like a year ago. Neither one of us knew. I remember then I was like, I want to be a creative director.
Yes.
Look at me now.
Yeah.
And you wanted to, move and you wanted to get into the school and you wanted to do more of these.
Yeah.
And talk to more creatives. And look at you now.
True.
You got some YouTube videos up. At the time,
I got about 4. I don't even think I had a YouTube channel
exactly.
at the time.
So it's like, just do it.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to steal nothing from Nike. No copyright.
Have to censor it.
Right? But like you just gotta go out there and do it. That's why I tell everybody, just go do it, man.
Yes, for real. Was there ever a version of you that was like, I'll stop here. Maybe this is good enough. And if that was a version of you out there, what did it cost you to move past that version of yourself?
So like, was there a version of me that ever thought that I should stop here?
Yeah, like you got to a certain point, was like, this is where I want to be. I'm done. I don't want to do anything else.
No, I don't know if it's good or bad, but no. I make sure I take the time to like congratulate myself when I do something that I always wanted to do, or if I like achieve something or reach a certain milestone, get a certain goal, whatever. But when I do that, I'm always like, okay, what can I do next? I definitely am the type of person that is always trying to push myself. And so as of today, as a 28-year-old man, no, I have not hit a spot where I'm like, okay, I'm good with this. I've been really happy with the things that I've done, but I'm still like, man, I know I can go so much further. I know I can, do this so much better. I know I have so much more to learn. And one thing about me is, I'm always trying to learn. So I'm honestly not sure if I'm ever going to get to that point, but I don't want to say like that I'm not content with who I am or my career. Very much content. I just know that I want to be great. I want to be one of the greats in this space. Whatever that means to people, right? I don't necessarily need to be a worldwide great, even if I'm just, great in my community. That would be good enough for me. But for myself, in order to do that, I feel like I have to keep learning and I have to keep trying to grow. And I can't be a person that's like, I have it all figured out, because I don't think I ever will. I think I'll always be learning something from somebody or something, right?
Yeah. I want to switch gears real quick.
All right.
I want to talk about social media.
Okay, let's do it.
As creatives, as photographers, videographers, artists, models, whatever else there are, do you think we are creating less or just copying faster?
Man, I think we're copying faster. Mm-hmm. I honestly think we're creating more than we ever have, but I think that's part of the problem. Is
it true creation though?
See, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Because I feel like because we're creating so fast, are we taking time to fully develop a concept? Like some of the art that we learn about going through school, when we're taking our like basic art class when we're in high school and stuff, right? And we learn about these different artists. Some of those artists spent decades on certain projects until they hit like the one that we know them for. We don't really do that anymore as a society. Like it's like, okay, I have to do something new every day. But to me, while it could be good, it's never great or it's never nearing perfect. Now things aren't going to be perfect, but like perfect for you. Did you get to finish out the thought fully and the concept fully? But with social media, things are so trendy and the algorithm moves every day, every week. And I do think it's really bad for artists, if I'm being honest. I think social media is great for exposure and getting your work out there. I think the way we use it right now is detrimental to like the growth of an artist because we're constantly comparing ourselves.
The way I see it, people want validation for what?
Exactly.
That's how I feel. For what? If it's truly about the art, then you don't care who see it. Like, you don't have to put out X amount of number of projects in order to feel good.
Right.
I think, let's talk about, like, I'm going to switch this over to music. Lauryn Hill, Miseducation Lauryn Hill, one of the greatest rap albums ever. Has she ever put out another solo album? I could be wrong. But to me, that's all she had, and that was enough for me. Or J. Cole took forever, 13, 14, 15 years, however long it was, to drop the Fall Off. That's what he was like, that's what he wanted for himself. Yes, he did stuff before then, but it was all with the purpose to get somewhere, right?
Right.
But I feel like people nowadays are just doing stuff to do it. Like, yes, free will, I understand. You want to do it by all means. But the game is so oversaturated with so much that's so inauthentic that it's like, I just feel like we just want to be like each other, and for what?
Yeah, like it's like we're all chameleons, you know. We see something on Instagram and then we shapeshift. Right. We shapeshift into somebody who does that. I'm guilty of it. I've definitely fallen into the trap.
I'm guilty of it right now. You know, we had this, like I told you, I saw this, I think we could. Yeah, so.
And like being inspired by things is one thing, but to be constantly biting, it's like when do you try and create something original? When do you take the things that inspired you to shape an original thought? Like, let's take Sinners, right? An original script, but it's not the first time we've seen like vampires, right. And it's not the first thing we've seen like racially motivated films.
Right.
But it's the first time we've really seen it like this. So it's like taking things that he was inspired by and taking different experiences in his own life to shape an original thought. I think that's how we need to use social media more, because now, to be honest, I feel like as artists, a lot of us are just marketing ourselves, trying to sell something, like because we're trying to get views, we're trying to get likes, because that's what it tells us it's going to make the money, right? That's the thing that's going to bring us the notoriety or the celebrity. But it shouldn't be about that. If I'm creating art and art that I care about, it's really for me. Like, I hope it makes somebody feel something, but it's for me. And for everybody else, it's open to interpretation. And I think we're away from that.
We are. I'm a big fan of storytelling, however that looks. We're not telling stories anymore. Like, look at...
Not our own story anyway.
Like, look at literature. Like, that's not even a real thing anymore. Man. That's died. A lot of, like... You talked about, like, these artists took 10 years. Like, they had all this and then hit into that 10th one. You don't see that anymore. People, if they're not on, it's on something else. Now it's just about the marketing. I need to find a way to get relevant rather than doing what I want to do, doing what I love, and keeping it about that. Yeah, the game is just... I
don't know if you ever heard, but people used to say, take 6 months of the year and just lock in and you'll like change your life. And while like, I think that's true to some degree, because I used to believe that. And then things didn't like change drastically after I locked in for half a year. And it's not because I didn't put in the work, and it's not because I wasn't like trying or I wasn't being smart. Sometimes you can't put a time on art.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you just have to make it and make it for yourself, because I was doing that because I wanted to speed run to success. There's no speed running to success as an artist, as a businessman or businesswoman or any of that, right? No speed running it. It takes the time it takes, whether it takes a couple days, a couple months, a couple years, a couple decades.
Right.
It takes the time it takes. And I think people are so wanting to get there faster that they don't enjoy the process. Because making art is a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
Is it stressful?
If you're doing it right, yeah.
Yeah, if you're doing it right. Is it stressful? For sure. But it's a whole lot of fun. And then you see that finished product and you're just like happy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just how I feel about it, though. That was a question I had to ask. I had to ask because, I mean, I feel like this day and age, there's just social media everywhere, regardless of what it looks like. And we're all a part of it because we kind of have to be, you know? But I just wanted to see what you thought about it.
Yeah, now, for the people watching, I'm not saying social media is evil. I mean, I run a marketing agency, and we help people with their social media.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to sit here and say it's evil. It definitely has its place, and it's definitely powerful.
It's needed, yeah.
But
it's all about how you use it.
Mm-hmm. It's how you use it. And I think for artists, man, stop selling yourself all the time. Just share the work, share the process of the work. And start conversations. There's a time and a place to be selling and marketing yourself, but every piece don't have to be that. Every video don't need to hit. Every video don't need likes or views. Just make, you know, That's like we said earlier, just do, just do.
Yeah.
Cause man, you'll get the views and not even be happy.
Right.
Get the views and not even be happy.
Yeah.
And 5 years will go by and you're making stuff that you like, this ain't even what I really wanted to make.
This ain't even me.
But it's getting views.
Right. That's real.
All right, be careful getting up them stairs. You're not athletes no more.
Speak for yourself.
He said he's still an athlete.
Speak for yourself.
No, I know it's still in me.
You know, we talked about social media. We talked about, people copying and the ingenuous and of today's art per se.
Right.
Could talk about that. Whenever you step away from the noise, all the trends and from the pressure from the pressure to perform, who are you creatively? And what does your work sound like when it's just yours?
Who am I creatively?
Who are you creatively? And what does your work sound like when it's just yours? Not the inspiration from whoever it was. Not the Biden. I'm not saying you a Biter, but we talked the sinners.
Yeah. Man, how do I put this? Who am I? So I'm usually pretty chill, right? As a creative. My art doesn't always reflect that because my mind is so kind of all over the place, and sometimes that's how I express myself, right? So sometimes my art can kind of be like kind of a hodgepodge of what's going on in my mind. You know, like in the way it sounds or whatever. Is that what you say? How it sounds?
Yeah. Like, what does your work sound like? I know we talk about look, feel, but what does it sound?
You ever been to like a jazz lounge and they playing?
No, but I want to so bad.
And they playing a fast jazz.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going on in my head anyway.
Almost like a beautiful chaos.
Yeah, and that's how I think my art would sound, right? It can be kind of abstract, but you'll always understand the story. Like even like the video we shot when I did my little mini film. Like, what is that? But like you can follow the story, right?
Yeah.
You can follow the story. That's what I think my art feels like, kind of is. Cause that's kind of how I am. I'm calm, but I'm a bit of a loose cannon. I'm kind of all over the place myself.
Like from what I've seen, you got this very calm and chill demeanor. If you even though the way you talk, the sound of your voice, but you're like this complex thinker, and you got to find a way to get that out,
bro. Yeah.
And so you get that out through your art, because you're not just gonna say it because you're so,
Yeah.
But it got to come out one way or another.
Exactly. My demeanor doesn't always represent like what I'm like on the inside or what my thoughts are like. My personality and my thoughts are very different. Now, that's not bad. My thoughts aren't bad. They're just a lot faster than I present. They're a lot more chaotic than I present. Honestly, I really like that contrast about myself.
I think we need that. I call it that dichotomy, right? Yeah. We need that balance. Like, yes, we can't be like this all the time. That's boring. Right? What's happening up here? Because like even with me, like, I talk and I tell people I'm an underthinker. Like I don't think enough.
I know you just told me on the phone the other day.
Yeah, I'm an underthinker. I don't think enough. Like this is what it is, and boom, here it goes. But I feel like I think deeply about things.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's kind of like, all right, and then I write that. You know, I have so many different mediums, right? I got like 3 Instagram pages.
I know. You got your poems one.
Yeah, so on the outside I'm just, you know, I'm chill and I wear my ties and my loafers, but it's a lot going on up here, just not all the time, you
Right.
know. So but it has to come out like with you. Yours is that fast jazz. I don't know what mine would be. Mine just kind of, I don't know. It's so many different things, you know. But I think that's something that we all need to think about. Like, who am I for real? What am I trying to do? As a creator, what am I telling? What am I selling? Like we just talked about. Am I selling myself? Or am I selling a story? Am I selling a concept?
Right.
I don't think I've ever sold myself. It's not about me for real, you know. It's about other people and the things that they say, the things that they do. And I don't think a lot of us really take the time to think about who am I, what am I doing.
Not often, man.
No.
Like you asking me this question kind of threw me for a loop. I was just thinking the other day. I'm like, man, I'm trying to figure out like who I am currently, and it's not like I don't necessarily feel lost, but I feel like I've changed. And I'm like, okay, now that I've changed, and I think for the better, I think I've just grown. I'm like, who am I now? Because I'm definitely not the person I was when I was 25, I'm not who I was when I was 22, I'm not who I was when I was 18. Who am I now at 28 in 2026? You know, my career is a little bit different. You know, the way I dress is a little bit different. So I'm trying to figure all that out. So honestly, I really like that question because I had to think about it for a moment. Shoot,
Good.
man, who am I? What does my heart look like?
I think that's important to think about though, because it's like you need to know what you're doing. You need to know what you're doing. You're just putting it out to put it out, like we talked about.
Yep.
Putting it out for a reason, you know. So, you know, let's be honest. You know, being unique it can be a bit lonely whenever you're doing things the way that you want to do it. That's what I've seen for you. You do the things that you want to do. You put them out when you want to put them out. So, how do you stay grounded when your work doesn't like touch others or if they don't understand it immediately?
I think for myself, let me be honest, for myself, I can be really hard on myself if the message don't come through. And so I can immediately go into, well, I messed up.
Yeah.
I need to do something differently, right? Like I need to basically like redo the whole thing and try it again another way. But what I've been trying to do lately is like, okay, if it doesn't resonate the first time, that's okay. Like a classic album, right? It might not be well received when it first hits, but let's see how people feel about it in a year, 2 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
All right, are people, you know, just kind of coming back to it? Even though they was like, it's not that great when the year it came out. That's kind of how I'm starting to see my art. It's like, you know what? It might not hit then. Maybe it'll hit later. Let's go back to social media for a sec, right? Like, you might post a video from 2025, let's say in January. It might not blow up until this year. Who knows why? Maybe just a string of people finally saw it, it resonated with them, they liked and shared it.
Yeah.
And then it just started getting pushed. So I've been trying to give myself a little bit of grace if my work doesn't blow up or if people don't understand it right away. Okay, at the end of the day, I made it for me. It was a story I wanted to tell. I told it my way. I'm gonna let people decipher it how they want. And if I decide I want to come out and explain everything about it, then I can. But other than that, I'm just allowing myself to make it because I want to make it, and then people can interpret it. At the end of the day, like again, it's art. People gonna always, I can say exactly what it means, and people gonna try and tell me what it means.
Like, nah, I don't think that's what you really meant to say.
Exactly. Like, I can say exactly what I mean. So I'm like, I'm giving myself more grace when it comes to how the work does when I do post it. I don't care. I'm honestly happy I posted it. I have really bad post anxiety where I'll make all this art and I'll never share it with people because I used to be so afraid of kind of like that. How are people going to receive it? So I kept it all for myself. Like, I'm happy I made it, but I'm also upset that I never share it with the world. Not because I want the validation, but because I'm proud of it and I should be okay sharing something I'm proud of with people.
So that's something I'm learning to get better at.
If there's someone who feels invisible, unoriginal, or just to say behind the curve, right? What's something that you would tell them about patience, about timing, and about trusting their own voice?
Patience, timing, and trusting your own voice.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling the guy actually that I was gonna see if he could come here today.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling him yesterday to like take your time. Do not try and speed run this because he's young. He's 21, and honestly, when I was 20, 21, I had a lot more time. I had a lot fewer responsibilities. Like I still have my own apartment, but it was just me. But now being 28, I'm in my career. I got my own little family I'm taking care of. I got a lot of other responsibilities. So the way I work now is different than I worked when I was 21. So I'm telling them, don't rush yourself. Right now is the time for you to continue to hone the craft, hone the skill. Because there's going to come a time where you don't have all these hours to go sit and edit. You got other things you might need to go do, especially if you're not a dedicated editor. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be. He wants to kind of be like us and do a lot of other things, okay? Where your time's going to be split. Right now it's not. So be patient and take your time and hone in on the skills now while you have that time. Because eventually you'll start working, doing one of these things, and you won't be able to just move around and do whatever you want. Right now you can. So be patient. Don't try and jump ahead of the curve. And then what was the second thing?
Timing, which kind of goes with patience.
Yeah, timing. Like I think I said earlier, either it's going to take a day or it's going to take a decade. You just don't know. All you can do is keep working and make sure you're ready whenever it comes. I'm a firm believer in stay ready and you'll never have to get ready.
That's right.
Because I don't have a whole lot of regrets, but I have a couple of some opportunities came my way. I was prepared, whether I didn't have the gear and I knew I could have gotten the gear, or I didn't plan properly. And so I just wasn't prepared mentally or just for the project when I was approached or whatever. And I hate if I feel like I missed out on something I wanted to do because I either wasn't prepared physically, mentally, or, my gear wasn't in order. So I try and make sure that I'm ready to go. Because you just never know when your opportunity is going to come. You just never know.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you never know. Somebody might be like, hey, I got a job for you, but it's in Austin, Texas.
Sound like me.
Right, yeah. I got a job for you, but it's in Austin, Texas. All right, now you got a decision to make. Are you ready to go and do this? Because that's a travel trip.
Yeah.
You got to be on it. And if you're not, then you either gonna be like, you know what, I can't do that, or you're gonna get out there and really embarrass yourself or mess up. And then you're gonna feel bad and feel like you can't keep going. That's okay, keep going, but just try and be ready.
Yeah.
That's one thing I'm learning, because things move so fast. Somebody might call me right after this. I need to be ready if it's a job, especially in this type of field.
Yeah. And what would you tell somebody about trusting their own voice?
Follow your gut. At the end of the day, nobody can tell you who to be and really what to do. We all have morals and we all have something we want in life. And I think as long as we stick to who we are, then everything will fall into place. I think a lot of people think they need to change their voice to fit into a certain room, whether that's literally or figuratively. Just be you. In the rooms you need to be in, you'll walk in. In the rooms you don't need to be in, you won't walk in. Mm-hmm. Or you'll walk in and realize you don't need to be there. And that's the thing, it's realize when you don't need to be in a room. Don't change yourself to be in that room. Because if that room don't accept who you are, those are wrong people, wrong environment. And as creatives, the environment's important because a lot of what we do comes from up here and it's directly tied to how we're feeling and the things we're going through and our experiences and what we're thinking. And if we put ourselves in a spot where we're compromising our voice, our art's not going to be real to us and we won't like it.
That's real. I teach second grade. I tell my kids all the time, if you are doing something with your friend, and your friend tell you to do something that's gonna get you in trouble, it's probably not your friend.
Probably not your friend.
You need to go play with somebody else. Go be in a space where you know you're gonna be all right.
Facts.
You ain't gotta worry about what's gonna happen. Am I okay? Or am I gonna get in trouble? You ain't gotta worry about that. You know what's coming. And so that's what that kind of sounds like, you know. You walk into a room, maybe I don't need to be here. Let me go back over here.
Exactly.
Let me go back over here.
Yeah.
And another thing, which I tell my kids, you don't have to yell in order to be heard.
Nope.
You do not have to yell.
You ain't got to be the loudest one.
And I feel like so many people are yelling right now because they're just trying to be heard. Like you said, the right people will hear you. The right people will see you. Just keep doing what you're supposed to do. Stay true to who you are. Keep that integrity, always doing the right thing. And just, you don't have to change your morals and your beliefs in order to fit into a game that's not for you.
Right.
You know? Because if that game is going to cause you to switch up on who you are as a person, it's probably not a game you should be in.